back to Largo High School, the 8th annual Palms Pinellas All-Star Classic here on TWTV 47. Eric Keaton with you here at halftime. We'll have Gene Gordon in a halftime interview coming up. Let's look at the first half highlights. It started with the South getting on the board first. They got into scoring position thanks to St. Pete Green Devil Will Jones. A big pitch from Chris Davis, and then it's all Jones down the near sideline, and he took it into the 10-yard line, and it set up a 1st and goal. However, the North had some pretty good defense down there, and the South had to settle for a field goal. And on trotted St. Pete Catholic bearing Chris Wechter, and he was all good. A very short one, almost a PAT, and the South jumped on the board first 3-0. It looked like they were going to add to their scoring crunch near midfield. Great field position on the first half, but then Will Jones had a great play, and then he was stripped of the football by Kazel out of East Lake, and Broward Mosley, the Clearwater Tornado, picked it up, and that set up the North, and behind a couple of Jamar Jackson big plays from the East Lake Eagle, he got them into scoring position, but the South defense held up, and John Petty pooched in a field goal. That made it 3-all, and it looked like that was going to be our score heading into halftime, but North got the football back, tried a little pass play out in the flats to the fullback, but it wasn't there. Javon Jackson was there for the South County defense, and he rumbled 40 yards into the end zone, untouched, nobody around him, and that is our halftime score at 10-3. 2 turnovers result in points for both sides of the football. The total yardage pretty much even, and we'll get the South Side story from Scott Epstein and head coach of the South, Gene Gordon. Take it away, Scott.
I looked at my watch and I looked up at the guy, and
I just think that we match up real well this time. Our offensive line is a little undersized. Their defensive line is a little undersized. Our defensive line is nice size, and their offensive line is nice size. So sometimes in the past, and I've been on 3 or 4 of these, and sometimes in the past, one side is larger than the other, and it's that type of thing. But I think that's where the real matchup is taking place. We're even up front.
Talk about the play of your quarterback, Chris Davis.
He's doing a great job, and it must be a great deal of fun to have him around, because even when things break down, all of a sudden you're looking at something where it comes out to be a game, and there are design plays for him right now to get outside off of fakes and that type of thing. But when it's broken down on the pass and he's he takes off, my God, that's a whole nother dimension to the football game.
How nice was it to see Javon Jackson intercept that pass and run it back for a touchdown?
Well, that's one of those things where, gives you that breathing room. I was feeling a little uncomfortable, and then all of a sudden they do that throwback screen. And that type of play right there can be a major hit because everybody's flowing fast. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he stayed home. He made a nice read, picked the ball off, takes it to the end zone. It was a complete play.
Any secret plays for the second half?
No, we're just, I think we've been hitting the strong side a lot. That was our plan, and now we're going to try and come back and maybe stick the weak side a little bit and throw a few more of those plays out that we have designed for Chris in there.
Thanks, Coach. Okay, good luck in the second half. And we'll be right back in just a couple minutes for more second half action.
TWTV's coverage of the Palms Pinellas All-Star Football Classic, and just like in the first half this time, it's Chris Wechter kicking the ball 5 yards deep in the end zone. And the North will start from their own 20. First and 10, trailing at 10-3, and it was a battle of field goals, Eric, in the first half. And just before they have Javon Jackson with 53 seconds left with a 40-yard interception return to give the South the 7-point lead heading into the locker room at halftime.
We were talking last year's halftime, or at least in first quarter, we didn't have a ball game. It was like 20-0. So at least this year we do have a ball game between the senior all-stars.
Kyle Wolfenbarger, the quarterback. Joe Dennis and Mike Wynn, the backs in the I formation. It's going to be Dennis straight up the middle, and Dennis, the big 235-pound bruising fullback, going to wedge it forward 220 pounds. I gave him extra 15 there, but he looks like he's 235, Eric. He gets almost 5 yards when he was hit about a yard over the line of scrimmage. Jamar Jackson in there starting the fullback second half. So that was Jamar, who had a very good first half. There were a couple of One long screen pass and the other long run. Jamar Jackson, 22, gets the start in the second half at fullback with
His teammate behind him, Mike Wynn.
Mike Wynn behind him. Second down on the short 6. Wolfenbarger out here. Roshan Marshall. Roshan with a couple of moves, but pretty good defensive play out there as he falls forward for only a gain of 1 or 2.
Just a nice job of staying home out there by the defensive back as Roshan Marshall tried to get to the outside and could not fool his man out there in coverage.
C.J. Davis from Dixie, the first man out there, really did a nice job. Coming in to helping him out was Mike Ross. Good to see Mike back in the game.
He's all right. That's for sure.
3rd and 4. Slot to the right. Backs again in the I formation are Jackson and Wynn behind Wolfenbarger. Gonna give it to Wynn. Wynn, I don't know. I think he's gonna be just shy. It's gonna be decision time here on 3rd and 4. They run it up the middle and just shy by about the nose of the football. See whether they gamble and go for it, or with a 6'4" quarterback and run a sneaker, they're gonna punt it out. Look, they're gonna go for it. At least number 88 there.
Swinsky in there. Yeah, you go for it. Just your big quarterback and hesitate a little bit and pick a hole either side of the center with the guard, or he can just take it right off the snap. Come up the line of scrimmage, quick snap, pick up the first down.
Wolfenbarger does just that. He's driven backwards, but sticks on his feet and gains a couple of yards.
That's a gimme. And also because they're not allowed to play a goal line type defense in that situation. They're only allowed to do that once they're inside the 10-yard line. So that's a gimme first down here. Tommy Ryan's got a lot to contend with those guys up front, like Bobby Fox and company.
Wolfenbarger at 6'4", 210 pounds. Good size for a high school quarterback. 25 is checked into the game. A wide receiver, Leonard Long from Largo, one of the receivers.
Danny Gilbert into the game as well, out of Palm Harbor.